Homework. It's lagging. Homework. I clicked start recording before I realized that the thingy was there. I forgot to read the case. Nintendo, could the Switch turn on gamers? What does that even mean? The Nintendo Switch is a... Man, this is so funny how it's actually a topic that I'm kind of interested in. And of course I totally forgot I'm supposed to read the case before taking the test. I'm not going to be able to read 9 pages in 45 minutes. There's no way. The Nintendo Switch is a gaming console that comes with a pair of new and innovative controllers called Joy-Con controllers. Maybe I'll see how long this it takes me to read 1 page. A hybrid of an attachable gamepad and a controller that can be used separately for multiplayer gameplay. When it's introduced in 2017, Nintendo's management was highly optimistic about the Switch, and Nintendo believed that it could sell about 10 million units of Switch consoles within a year after launch as of January 2019. Nintendo's last gaming console, Nintendo Switch, had exceeded 32 million units sold, and software sales for the console had reached 163 million units. A pair of Joy-Cons was included. What is Joy-Con? In the $300 price tag of the Switch console, the Joy-Con came... Why are they focusing on the controller? The Joy-Con came in 2 color options for customers to choose from: one gray and red-blue, and the other gray and black. A more innovative feature in the new gaming console was that it could be transformed into a 6.2-inch high-definition on-the-go gaming screen if a user decided to move away from the TV. The Switch console also marked the release of Nintendo Switch's very first epic game. What do you mean, very first epic game? Called The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. What? Is epic a word that they're using in a different meaning here? Because that Zelda game, isn't that like a really old game or something? I'm assuming, or maybe I'm dumb. I don't know anything about Zelda, so sorry. Which could be played both on Switch and Wii U consoles for a price of $60. Nintendo of America's COO and President Reggie Fils-Aime said, Nintendo Switch makes it easy for anyone to enjoy their games in the living room and then quickly take them on the go. The new gaming console design meant that console gaming was not only limited to one stationary TV anymore, and could be experienced anywhere, anytime. The launch of Nintendo Switch caught the attention of consumers. I mean, that sounds pretty dang cool. Okay, I don't have time for commentary. Man, I'm reading as fast as I can. The launch of Nintendo Switch caught the attention of consumers and mostly received a positive response. I've already given up inside. I've already given up. I'm trying because I know it's theoretically possible, but I've already given up. Dude, if I give up, I could be throwing away my class. I could be just failing myself because the deadline's over. The drop deadline's already over. The launch of Nintendo Switch caught the attention of consumers and mostly received a positive response. But apparently the news did not impress the investors, leaving the company's stock tumbling. This may have reflected concerns regarding the battery life of the portable console, its price, and third-party support. Nevertheless, a flood of customer orders led to stock shortages in stores like GameStop and Toys R Us, among others, addressing the stock shortage. Reggie Fils-Aime said, "Our focus is making sure that the consumer who wants to buy a Nintendo Switch can buy a Nintendo Switch." Well, no, duh. The initial plan had been to ship 2 million consoles. Nintendo decided to double the production to deal with the shortage and meet the strong demand. The stocks had surged high by mid-2018. A year after Nintendo Switch's launch, according to the Wall Street Journal, to meet demand for 1 year out. Ending April 2018, the company's management decided to manufacture 16 million Switch consoles, double the yearly quantity of 8 million, Nintendo's traditional production target. One of the key topics of discussion in the popular press was whether or not the Switch console defined the next generation of gaming. This echoed similar press concerns after the launch of Nintendo's previous console, the Wii U. Prior to the launch of the Switch, its predecessor, the Nintendo Wii U console, had been on the market for only a short while, with the addition of innovative controls and new game titles. I mean, this is taking forever. How am I still not at the end of this page? Then there had been uncertainty among industry experts, such as Gabriel Schrager of Ubisoft, and as to whether or not the improved power and new controller interface justify that systems being considered a new generation. The Wii U initially was launched with 50 available games and a new controller interface termed the Gamepad. While the Gamepad offered a new take on the Wii's controls, the new console was still compatible with the same motion sensing controllers of the original Wii. However, the Wii U console was not sold with these controllers included. Instead, it came with just one of the new gamepads, incorporating traits from tablet devices. The gamepad integrated both traditional input methods such as buttons, tool, analog sticks, and a D-pad. It's funny, I never owned a Wii U. I only owned a Wii. And also, I need to stop. And a touchscreen. The touchscreen could be used to supplement a game by providing alternative functionality or an alternative view of a scenario in a game with the off-TV play function. The screen could also be used to play a game strictly on the gamepad screen without the use of a television display at all, with the Wii U console turned on. I mean, the Wii U kind of sounds similar to the Switch a little bit, but not quite. It's not quite the same. But the Wii U console turned on. The gamepad could be used to display the same picture on screen as would be seen using a TV display. There were also non-gaming functions, such as the ability to use the gamepad as a television remote. While Nintendo was the first of the competitors to release its new gaming console, there was no doubt that both Sony's PlayStation and Microsoft's Xbox would be close behind, leading to their own operating systems. Although Nintendo is slightly behind in comparison to competitors, the company saw a significant improvement in its net sales after Nintendo Switch. I don't care. Let's see. I finished one page in 7 minutes. So that means if each page takes that long, 7 times 9, 63 minutes. Oh my gosh, dude. Even at this fast pace, I'm still not gonna finish in time. I mean, I could technically go a little bit into the hour of my test taking time to read it. I don't know. Also, there's this whole thing here, so that's another 2 pages done. So maybe I'm good. Now we only have, and this is a short page. I'm getting lucky. I might be able to do this after all. Background. Although Nintendo dated back to 1889 as a playing card maker. What the heck? I had no idea that was the case. Nintendo's first video game systems were developed in 1979 and known as TV Game 15 and TV Game 6. What? That is weird. In 1980, Nintendo developed the first portable LCD video game with a microprocessor. In 1985, Nintendo created the Nintendo Entertainment System, an 8-bit video game console. The original NES was very successful as its graphics were superior to any home-based console available at the time. As a result, more than 60 million units were sold worldwide. The NES set the bar for subsequent consoles in platform design as well as for accepting games that were manufactured by third-party developers. When competitors began developing 16-bit devices, such as Sega's Genesis system and NEC's PC Engine, Nintendo responded with its own 16-bit system, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. The Super Nintendo was released in 1991 and when purchased came with one game, Super Mario World. That's fun. In 1996, Nintendo released Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 was the company's third-generation video game console. It was named after the 64-bit processor. During its product's lifetime, more than 30 million Nintendo 64 units were sold worldwide. The Nintendo 64, like its predecessors, used cartridges to play its games, but at the time, the competing Sony and Sega systems were using CDs for game storage. Cartridges could store 64 megabytes of data, while CDs could store around 700 megabytes. Also, CDs were much cheaper to manufacture, distribute, and create. The average cost of producing a cartridge of 25 compared to 10 cents to produce $25 compared to 10 cents. Okay, what the heck? Cartridges are so much worse than CDs. Like what? Like it's exponentially better. That is so weird. That is so weird, dude. Game producers pass the higher expense to the consumer. Higher expense of what? What do you mean? While most Sony's PlayStation games rarely exceeded $50, Nintendo 64 titles could reach $70. To increase profits and to take advantage of the programming possibilities of a larger storage space, many third-party game developers that traditionally support Nintendo games for system they use a CD platform, such as PlayStation in 2001. Nintendo released its GameCube. Man, I would have loved reading this. This is like the one topic I'm actually interested in, and I'm reading a 1027, frantically trying to finish it before the due date of the test. Screw this. Screw this. You're ruining this. Yes, I'm blaming that, even though I'm the one who procrastinated and forgot that I had to read a case. In 2001, Nintendo released its GameCube, which was part of the 6th generation era video game systems. These systems include Sony's PlayStation 2, Microsoft's Xbox, and Sega's Dreamcast. Although the GameCube did not use cartridges, Nintendo began producing its games using a proprietary optical disc technology. This technology, while similar in appearance to CDs, was actually smaller in diameter and could not be played using a standard CD player. When Nintendo released the Wii video game console in 2006, it was already in the midst of a very competitive market. The previous generation of video game consoles consisted of the Dreamcast, you already said that, GameCube, and Xbox. These systems were all released between 1999 and 2001 in the United States, and although the GameCube sold more systems than the Dreamcast, it fell in third place behind PlayStation 2 and Xbox. The PlayStation 2 sold more than 115 million units worldwide, or twice the combined unit sales of GameCube and Xbox. Also, I have a PlayStation 2, but that's only because okay, shut up. By 2019, Nintendo had gone beyond its Nintendo 3DS. What the heck? You just skipped time. You just went from 2006 to 2019 for no apparent reason. By 2019, had gone beyond its Nintendo 3DS and Wii U and was banking on Nintendo Switch to beat the competition. The term Wii. Man, why is this the thing? Why is this? Was banking on Nintendo Switch to beat the competition. That was funny. But it was accompanied by rumors of a PlayStation 5 that was set to release in 2021. Dang, that's how recently the PlayStation 5 came out? That does not feel very long ago. I mean, it was 2 years ago. But man. In May 2018, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO John Codere told reporters, "We will use the next 3 years to prepare the next step, to crouch down so that we can jump higher into the future." This came shortly after he remarked that the PS4 was entering the final phase of its life cycle. Dude, that's the CEO of Sony. Oh my gosh. The term Wii. 2006, Nintendo released its direct successor to the GameCube, the Wii. They think I don't know how to pronounce it. There were many reasons cited as to why the name Wii was chosen, but perhaps the most compelling reason was that Wii Center, like Wii, emphasized that the console was for everyone. We could be remembered easily by people around the world, no matter what language they spoke, no confusion. What? No, not everyone says the word Wii to mean we. What are you talking about? Well, I guess it's just a simple name or something. Initially, the system was known by its code name Revolution, but later the name was changed to Wii. Nintendo stated that it wanted to make the Wii a system that would make anyone who tried it talk to his or friends and neighbors about it. The making of the remote. Dude, wait a minute. Why are they talking about the... I thought the Switch was the main focus of this article, but now they're talking about the Wii. The original Wii was created to establish a new standard in game control using an innovative and unprecedented interface, the Wii Remote. The Wii Remote was what made the Wii unique. The remote acted as the primary controller for the Wii. Its motion sensor capabilities allowed the Wii user to interact with and manipulate objects on the screen by moving and pointing the remote in various directions. The Wii Remote was the size of a traditional remote control, and it was limited only by the game's designer's imagination. For example, in a game of tennis, it served as the racket when the user swung his or her arm, while in a shooting game, it served as the user's gun. Not only did the remote serve as a controller, but it also had a built-in speaker and a rumble feature for even greater tactile feedback and game development. Exhibit 3 shows the Wii and the Wii Remote. The second part of the Wii Remote. Also, let's see here. I have to read through page 165. So, I think I might be actually fine here. While the Wii U, dang it, where was I? The second part of the innovation was the nunchuck. The nunchuck was designed to perfectly fit the user's hand. It connected to the remote at its extension port. The nunchuck had the same motion sensing capabilities that the remote had. But it also had an analog stick to help the user move his or her characters. The ambidextrous nature of the Wii controllers was something seldom seen in other game controllers. The Wii controllers permit the user to hold the remote and nunchuck whichever way felt most comfortable. In addition to the analog stick, the nunchuck had 2 buttons that gave the user quick access to other game functions. Thus, the nunchuck offered some of the benefits of a standard game controller coupled with the high-technology motion sensors of the remote. Users could hold the nunchuck in one hand and the Wii remote in the other while playing with the Wii Sports boxing game and be transported into the boxing ring with on-screen opponents. The game controls were intuitive for jabs and punches. However, a missed block did not hurt as much as if one were really in a boxing ring. While the Wii U was still compatible with the original Wii controllers, Nintendo revamped the controller usability when designing the Wii U. The new gamepad sold with the Wii U allowed the user to be more in touch with the game and provide more depth by offering multi-perspective capabilities on the pad's screen. While using the TV display, other players could now multitask within a game by using a variety of functions on their controller and could even play using solely the gamepad with no TV display necessary with the game console turned on. Players had the option of using the gamepad as their main viewing screen. Dude, they repeated stuff. This is such a badly written article. This whole paragraph was kind of repeated from before. Nintendo Switch features. Nintendo Switch game. Dude, all of this stuff is getting repeated. Like, they already talked about the Switch and the Wii U. Now they're repeating themselves and talking about it again. Why is this written so poorly? Nintendo Switch came with the portable game console and the built-in screen, a pair of Joy-Con controllers. Again, this is the same stuff. Pair of Joy-Con controllers, Joy-Con straps, a Joy-Con grip, and a Nintendo Switch dock. The controller's straps were detachable from the grip to be used with the portable screen to turn the Switch into a portable video game. The 6.2-inch detachable screen console came with a standard USB plug for charging, along with the traditional method of playing games by using buttons. The Joy-Cons could also be used for motion-sensitive games, just like their predecessors. Nintendo also offered an additional controller called Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. Which could be bought separately at a price of $70. It had the same features as Joy-Con, but looked like a traditional gaming controller. This was not the first time Nintendo has sprayed its market with such a new design. For instance, the company had done it in the past when it introduced motion-sensitive controllers. However, this time, in a way, Nintendo had combined the gamepad controller with the Wii U console to design the Switch. Gamers could play games by attaching the Nintendo Switch dock with the TV, or could convert it into a portable handheld game by attaching the controller straps with the 6.2-inch high-definition screen, which also included a kickstand to be placed on a flat surface and multi-touch features for various compatible games to enhance the gaming experience. The gamers could also make a screenshot of the game they played using a capture button on the left Joy-Con, which users could then share with their friends or put on social media. This was the last point. Nintendo controllers, though most Joy-Cons include motion controls. Well, that's fun. So, still have a lot of pages left. I have to get through 165. Still have a lot of pages left. Switch supported the Nintendo eShop. Online game store. That can be used to download games from different publishers and developers. Switch also supported the games by third-party publishers, including Electronic. The user interface of the Switch software was a UI design. The home screen displayed several different icons, including icons. Dude, that was a stupid sentence you just wrote. It says the user interface of the Switch software was a UI design. You know what UI stands for? Doesn't that stand for user interface? They just said the user interface was a user interface. That's what they said. I don't know. The home screen displayed several different icons, including icons for featured games, settings, controllers, albums, screenshots, videos, Nintendo eShop and options. Users can make different player profiles to sign in to maintain exclusive game progress. Maintaining exclusive game progress, similar to what most people do using their personal computers, the top right corner of the screen. Show battery status along with the time. Like, why are they going into all this detail? Prior to Nintendo Switch, the company had introduced they depicted popular Nintendo characters and each contained a wireless antenna and flash memory. They allowed consumers to include told versions of their favorite characters in compatible video games. Nintendo's first round of amiibo characters were Mario, Peach, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Link, Fox, Samus, Peach, Pit Trainer, Villager, Pikachu, Kirby, and Marth. By 2019, the company had introduced a number of new games for Nintendo Switch, including The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I guess that is a more recent video game. I don't know why. I thought it was an older one. Anyways, Super Mario Maker 2, Pokemon Quest, and a few others. In March 2019, it released the updated version of its latest game, Yoshi's Crafted World. In the past, Nintendo had hoped to penetrate the segment and boost sales of its Wii U console and 3DS held in the process. However, combined both Wii U and 3DS into a single game platform, that was Nintendo Switch. The results for the fiscal year ended show a very positive trend in global hardware sales for Nintendo Switch, which sold a total of this many units during the fiscal year. Demographics, according to 1, 2. Okay, so it's really only 2 pages because one of the pages is. No, it's more like 4 pages left. Do I have time to read all these? I don't know. Do I want to just give up? I just want to give up. Like, this could, like, drastically affect my life if I give up here. Because it's very possible the professor will not let me take the test after the due date. Do I have to prepare for class tomorrow somehow? I don't think so. Well, I wonder how badly I'm going to regret this choice. I could try to rush through, finish this, have maybe finish it like a few minutes past them time and try to rush through that test. Or I could decide to wait till tomorrow and see whether or not the professor will allow me to take the test later than the due date. I've decided I'm going to not take the test before it is due. So, watch as I fail the class. Watch as I fail the class. Watch as this decision makes me fail the class.